Panasonic Lumix Gh5S First Impressions Review. The Panasonic Gh5S is a video-focused Micro Four Thirds camera built around what the company markets as a 10.2MP sensor. It's best understood as an even more video-centric variant of the Gh5. It can't shoot either DCI or UHD 4K footage natively. One capture pixel equals one output pixel at up to 60p. Panasonic wasn't the first company to introduce high-quality video to what was otherwise a still camera, but with its GH series it has been constantly expanding the range of professional video features appearing in consumer still/video cameras. The Gh5S takes this logic one step further, by lowering the sensor resolution and omitting image stabilization to make a more single-minded video tool, rather than hybrid intended to be similarly capable at both disciplines. The ability to shoot DCI 4K at up to 60p with no crop is the most obvious distinction between it and the standard Gh5, but the differences run deeper. Key specifications: oversized multi-aspect sensor with dual gain design, 10.2MP maximum usable area from around 12.5MP total DCI or UHD 4K at up to 60 page 10-bit 4:2:2 internal capture at up to 30 page 8-bit 4:2:0 internal 60p or 10-bit 4:2:2 output over HDMI by 1080 footage at up to 240p with additional crop above 200p hybrid log gamma mode ISO 160, 51280, 204,800 extended AF rated down to 5F with f2 lens 3.68mm.1280x 960 pixel OLED viewfinder with 0.76x magnification 1.62m.900x 600 pixel fully articulated LCD 14-bit raw still 11 fps 7 with AFC or 1 fps faster in 12-bit mode, USB 3.1 with Type-C connector, as well as the ability to shoot DCI 4K at higher frame rates. Panasonic also claims the Gh5S's larger pixels and dual native ISO sensor will mean it shoots significantly better footage in low light, as well as using the maximum amount of pixels and silicon for each aspect ratio with consequent image quality benefits. This also means that the diagonal angle of view is preserved, whether you shoot 4:3, 3:2, 16:9 or in DCI 4K's roughly 17:9 aspect ratio. It also means that the Gh5S should offer a fractionally wider angle of view than the Gh5 when shooting video, especially when capturing DCI footage. The only downside is that the use of a larger region could limit the use of APS-C and Super 35 lenses in conjunction with focal length reducing adapters, such as speed boosters. A 0.71x reducer needs to capture the roughly 30.5mm image circle to cover the Gh5S's larger video region, while a 0.64x reducer needs the 33.8mm image circle, both of which are larger when it's guaranteed to be projected by an APS-C lens. You'll almost certainly be okay with the 0.71x adapter, since that's been shown to work with the majority of APS-C lenses, but with the 0.64x version it's likely you'll have to check on a case-by-case basis. Dual gain: Panasonic describes the Gh5S as having dual native ISO, which is standard video terminology for a dual gain sensor design. Such chips have two readout modes, one that maximizes dynamic range at low sensitivity settings and a second designed to minimize noise but at the cost of dynamic range. At higher settings, the second mode changes the conversion gain, essentially increasing the pixel's voltage output. It's something we first encountered in Nikon's 1 series cameras, but that's become increasingly common over the past few years, resulting in visible improvements at high ISO settings. The only difference we can see between the approach taken by Panasonic is that it lets you limit the camera to either one of the sensor's modes, whereas other brands just change mode in the background, without the user ever knowing. Differences versus GH5 10.2 megapixel oversized sensor versus 20.24 third-sized sensor dual gain sensor design with 2 readout circuits fixed sensor no internal stabilization for use with closed stabilization systems DCI 4K available in 59.94, 50, 29.97 and 25 PGH5 is 23.98/24p only 1080 mode AF rated. To work in lower light 5F versus 4F 14-bit raw available blog held enabled out of the box time code in /outlight 709 and V-Log color profiles available in still shooting mic socket offers phantom power and line level in options LED corrected display available in playback as well as capture 120 fps viewfinder mode. Beyond these changes, the Gh5S keeps the rest of the Gh5S capabilities, with matching codec options and the same support tools, such as vector scopes, waveforms and preview modes for anamorphic, log and hybrid log gamma shooting. For instance, as on the Gh5, Panasonic recommends the use of V60 rated cards for shooting 400 mbps video. However, the V60 standard itself seems to be vague enough that even some nominal V60 compliant cards are still not fast enough. The company says to use either its own brand V60 or V90 cards or to stick to well-known manufacturers with a proven history of producing fast cards and, ideally, to buy from a source with a good return policy. Multi-aspect sensor. The Gh5S uses the chip that natively shoots DCI or UHD 4K, meaning 1 pixel on the sensor is used to produce each pixel in the final footage. The sensor, like that on the Gh1 and Gh